Hey there. This is your typical laptop webcam. It doesn't look really great, it doesn't sound really great, but it's what a lot of folks use. Now, a way to get around this, a dedicated webcam. This is what that looks like. You can spend 50 bucks, get yourself one of these, and it'll do the job. Now, audio through it isn't fantastic. The video quality is certainly a bit better, but you can see there's really no background separation, and the thing just sits there. It doesn't move with me. Again, the autofocus is honestly pretty rough. And when it does, see, this little micro adjustments just bother the heck out of me. It makes it look less professional. And there's another solution, one that I think many of you will be interested in, from a company called Insta360.
To get rid of that annoying Windows activation watermark, head on over to VIP SCD Key. Purchase a Windows 10 Pro OEM key for a fraction of the price of retail. Just use a secure payment method like PayPal, enter your product key into your PC settings window, and say bye-bye to the watermark. And be sure to use our offer code SKGS for a sweet discount.
Now, you may have already heard of Insta360, and at the very least, you've probably seen footage from some of their cameras on your favorite YouTube channels. Shots like this one here from Stradman, taking behind his Lamborghini, is on an Insta360 camera. In fact, the 360-degree motion is super important for shots like this because it allows you to pan left and right. You can swivel up and down after the fact. You're capturing 360 degrees of video, and in post, you can narrow down what you want to show, what subject is most important to you at any given time. But Insta360's changed the game a bit in the webcam department as well with their new Link camera. This is an AI-powered 4K webcam. Now, this thing is pretty awesome. Obviously, it is a true 4K webcam, not none of that fake crap that you see online. Oh, it's 4K, but it's really like, I don't know, 720p scaled up. This is authentic 4K video. We'll obviously show you that in a second. It uses a 1/2-inch sensor, which means you're gonna get some decent depth of field. For webcam, that's pretty awesome. AI tracking, it'll stick to your face pretty much at all times. That's cool. Rapid focus, that was, I mean, you saw how bad it was with our old webcam. This is gonna be a pretty big deal for me personally. You have noise canceling mics built in as well, so if you don't have a standalone microphone, you can use the one built into the Link, and it should sound pretty sweet. It also has privacy mode, so when you're not using it, it'll completely shut off. It won't film anything. That's pretty cool. In the box, you'll find the essentials. Obviously, you get the camera itself. This thing is pretty beefy. We'll set this up in a second. And then we've got a USB Type A to Type C cable so that we can run this straight into our computer and capture footage directly. This here is how she'll clamp onto the monitor and actually have like a full-on tilt. I don't even know what all the fancy words are here. It'll pan, rotate, pivot, whatever. It'll do all of that, and it'll do it automatically, and you'll see that right when we power it up, this thing will automatically balance itself, get things nice and horizontal for you so that you don't have to do any tinkering in post. All right, I'm gonna plug it in here and let's see what happens. There's power. Yo, that is sick. You see how it did that? So it's literally balancing itself out automatically. Now we need to test it. I got OBS pulled up, so let's see what this camera can do.
Yo, okay, so I believe the audio you should be hearing now is coming from the webcam, so you can get a taste of how that sounds. I think it's plenty doable considering what we were working with at the beginning of the video in the laptop and the cheaper webcam. We have the camera here that's gonna be filming the webcam as it moves, because that's one of the cool things about this thing. So I'm actually gonna move back a bit. You can see it's kind of adjusting and it's following me. And mind you, I'm not doing anything. My hands are here, right? This is all AI. It is tracking my face, and you can see the webcam is physically moving to follow me. And it's actually pretty quick. You can change the response times. So if you want it to be really fast, like I have it set to now, it'll do that. I mean, it's good. Like, it's really good. It might struggle for a split second to track and figure out where you've moved, but it will find you, and it will stay with you. You can even get really low, and this is so cool. And then you can get really high, and it'll still follow you. So you could literally be having a conversation with a friend. You don't have to sit at your desk, and the camera will always be on you. And I think that is super cool. Now, the next feature I'm super excited about is desk view mode. And this is super cool because what this essentially does is manipulate the image from an off-center point of view to make it seem as though the camera is directly overhead. So I'm gonna go ahead and click the button now in the Link controller software. And from this angle here, you would assume that the camera was directly overhead, but of course it's not. It's sitting on top of my monitor. And this sort of view is
super, super cool. You can do so much with this. You could literally set this camera up on a tripod in front of your desk, enable desk view mode, and it would seem as though, again, the camera is just hanging out. It's just hovering directly above your workspace, which will give you some pretty unique perspectives. And again, you can't really tell that the image is all that distorted at all. There's really no warping or anything on the edges, which is usually the telltale sign that things are being manipulated and changed here. You can tell my hands get a little, they look a little strange on the corners, but again, a very worthy trade-off, I think, for a very clear image directly on top.
Now, there are some other super cool features about this webcam I want to show you. First off, I've got the AI zoom feature enabled in their software, and I've got it set to half body. Now, from the perspective I'm at now, I'm only about 3 feet from the camera. This is the field of view you should expect. But if I move back, you'll notice that the webcam is going to attempt to zoom in and isolate the upper half of my body. And that's because I've selected as such in the software. I can change this, by the way, to just my head. And if I move back, it'll zoom in even more and make sure that my head is the only thing really being shown here. So there's a lot you can do with this. Again, it's so cool watching on screen how it's zooming, and you'd almost think you have a cameraman in the background trying to figure things out for you. You can do whole body, which I'm gonna have to move pretty far away from the camera for this one, but you can see it's really trying to fit my whole body in there, and that's super cool. If I walk over here, it's still following. It knows exactly where I am, and I can bring it all the way back to the front. And obviously, if it knows it can't fit my full body in the frame, it'll adjust to fitting just my head, my upper third. So really cool stuff. The AI in this is awesome.
Something else you'll probably love about the Insta360 Link, the fact that you have gesture control. So if I want to, say, have the camera zoom in a bit more from just showing the upper half of my body, all I have to do is hold up the shape of an L a bit high, and on screen, they will see that as a need to zoom in. Pretty cool. And if I want it to zoom down, or zoom out, excuse me, I'll just pull the L lower against my body, and there you go. That's it. That's all you have to do. So to zoom in, give it a second. It recognizes that you want it to go up, and then back out. Back in, back out. I'm still learning as I go. I think what I need to do, whenever I show the L shape, from there, the webcam is waiting for a position change. So it will know that it's going up, and then it will know that you want it back. So it's gonna remember that initial position. If I start it here, it's not gonna automatically zoom in because, well, this is your starting point. So you have to move it up, and then you can move it back. That's so cool. There are other useful gestures, by the way, not just zooming. If, for example, I want the webcam to either begin or cease auto-tracking, I have to simply hold up a palm. That's it. So I'll walk off frame here, and you can see the webcam is not following me. I'll walk back in, and it's stationary. But the moment I want it to track, all I have to do is hold up that palm. I'll wait for the blinking blue lights, and now the webcam will follow me pretty much anywhere. And that is pretty cool. I could do this all day. It's so awesome. I feel like I have a cameraman. Jeremy, I don't need you anymore. Sorry, buddy, you're fired. Just kidding. Maybe not, though. By the way, if the tracking speed is too fast for your taste, you can always adjust it. We have normal mode and slow. I think slow is probably the smoothest. Again, it's gonna look a little more organic, it won't be as rough, and I'll show you what that looks like. And she'll move nice and slow. Now you have to be careful, especially in this mode here. If you completely exit the frame too quickly, then it will lose track of you, and you might end up in a situation where the camera is pointed in one direction, waiting for you to show back up, and you've already moved somewhere else. So I'll give you a quick example of that. I'm gonna swing right here, okay? And then I'm gonna move very quickly off camera. I think I can outpace the camera. Yeah, there we go. So now the camera has no idea where I went, so it's just defaulted back to the straight ahead position. And if I swing my head back in, then it's like, oh, there you are. Now I can follow you again. Of course, you don't really have to worry about this much with the fast tracking speed enabled, but yeah, just something to keep in mind if you decide to set it to slow. There are honestly so many features in this Insta360 Link camera, and I haven't shown you all of them. They've got things like whiteboard mode, which will allow the camera to zoom in to specifically said whiteboard so that you can show folks in a conference call, for example, what you're writing on the board. That's really cool, similar to desk mode, and it will try to get rid of as much distortion as it can. I don't have a whiteboard here, but just know that that function does exist. There are plenty of other features as well. You can have this whole thing set up in portrait mode mode, if you want to make TikToks or something like that with this, it'll completely rotate the camera 90 degrees and film that way in a 9:16 format.
Now I know this is not a fair comparison. This is a $300 high-end webcam, so to speak, compared to a mirrorless camera setup that costs well north of $1,000. You do still see some background separation with the Link camera, and I think that's noteworthy, especially for something as small as the Insta360 Link. It's very portable. You can take it with you wherever you want to go. You can bring it with you and hook it up to your laptop, run things that way. You can use the built-in audio. Again, it's not going to sound bad. And to me, this is a way better solution than carrying a bulky mirrorless camera setup or something similar to that. Plus, it has the tracking features, which is that's just awesome. Obviously, I don't get that with my professional camera, so to speak, but I really like this. It's a really cool technological feat. Obviously, AI's been out for a very long time, but to see it so seamlessly integrated into a webcam, Insta360 has just knocked it out of the park, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below.
With that, consider clicking the top link in this video's description to learn more about the Insta360 Link camera. I couldn't possibly cover every single feature in one video like this, but I've got to say, they nailed it. It's so cool. I can't hide from it. It follows me everywhere. And I mean, whether you think it's a gimmick or not, it's definitely a revolution for webcams. It's a very different approach to what's traditionally been a static webcam experience. And most of the webcams that a lot of Twitch streamers and whatnot use are just not very high quality either. So picture this kind of quality, shrunk down into a small box. Usually you've got game footage or something happening in the background, and you've got your small little video window, right? Let's say you want to reach over here, or maybe you want to show them your keyboard while you're gaming so they can see what you're clicking. All of that is possible with the Insta360 Link, and that's why I think you should at least give it a chance. So check that link out, and you'll also find there where you can buy one. If you like this style video, let me know by giving this one a thumbs up. That would be greatly appreciated. Again, leave your feedback about this product in the comment section below. Consider subscribing, and I will catch you in the next one. My name is Greg. Thanks for learning with me. Okay, now I'm gonna see if I can beat it. Down here. No way, come on. Come on. I moved so quickly. That was like Spider-Man level accuracy there. Spider-Man level agility. And I still can't, I'm just out of shape. Let's just admit it, I'm out of shape. I can't outrun a frickin' webcam. Time to hit the gym.
Yeah, and then now move it up. There you go. Pretty cool.
It is cool. Cute.
Lisa's seal of approval.